The Last Song is a 2010 movie directed by Julie Ann Robinson. It was developed alongside the Nicholas Sparks novel of the same name. Nicholas Sparks is one of the world's most beloved storytellers. All of his books have been bestsellers in the New York Times. He was born in Nebraska in 1965. He is defined as an unequaled writer of emotions. All the women have fallen and fall in love with his books. He wrote very famous novels such as Message in a Bottle, Nights in Rodenti, A Walk to Remember, The Notebook, and all his books were translated in more than 40 languages. He is a contemporary author who tells love stories in a world that wants to dream, love, and escape from reality. Books are always adapted in films, but this time it was different. In the same period in which Sparks was trying to write his new book, a producer associated with Disney called him for a collaboration, and she wanted him to write a story in which the actress-singer Miley Cyrus was the protagonist. For the first time in his life, Nicholas Sparks wrote the screenplay of a movie. Moreover, he did it before writing the book.
Usually you write a book, and then comes along the screenplay.
Yeah.
But you did the screenplay first.
I was approached, and they said, okay, can you come up with something? So I really didn't commit to it, and then, as she said, I talked to her a little bit, some things she wanted to do or didn't want to do in the film, like whether she wanted her dad to be in the movie. She said no. Sorry, Billy Ray.
Love you, Dad.
But just different things like that. Then I had to come up with a story that was, I thought, really good, because I knew, for me, regardless of what happened with the film, it had to be a novel.
The outcome was a masterpiece. Ronnie, a rebellious and solitary adolescent, is forced by her mother to spend summer holidays in North Carolina with her father Steve, who she hasn't seen for 3 years. Her parents divorced, and Ronnie is angry with her father because she felt abandoned. She is disobedient, surly, and she did her best to show her hate towards Steve. On the contrary, her little brother Jonah spends a lot of time with their father, and together Steve and Jonah work on a stained glass window of the church of the village that was burned some years before. So, Ronnie spends all the day outside home. She meets new friends. One day when she was walking on the beach, she stumbles in a field of beach volleyball, where she meets the handsome Will, a boy who is completely different from her. He is rich, and he has quite strict parents. Ronnie and Will have a common passion for animals, and for this reason they spend more and more time together on the beach in order to protect the nest of loggerheads from raccoons that want to hit them. They fall in love. Their love is pure, but they have to face many difficulties. Will's parents don't like Ronnie, and she finds out that a friend of Will has actually set fire to the church, and her father was believed to be the culprit. They argue and they leave each other. In the book, there is a detailed description of the meeting between Ronnie and a local girl, Blaze, while in the movie there are few scenes. Blaze is in love with a crazy boy who forces her to stay with him. Meanwhile, he flirts with Ronnie. Blaze looks like her friend. Her parents divorced. She lives a solitary and independent life. There is a great relation between the two girls, but because of misunderstandings, they separate to be together again at the end of the story. In the book, Ronnie's summertime is quite completely focused on the friendship between her and this girl, who leads Ronnie down a bad road, while in the movie many details are omitted. After meeting Will, Ronnie changes her behavior towards her father. The girl rediscovers the passion for music that Steve passed down to her when she was a little girl, and that she gave up even though she had a great talent. In the same night in which the heads of the loggerhead were etching, and they were all looking at the miracle, Steve collapses. Ronnie and Donna learn that their father has a cancer and that he has limited time to live. In the book, the mother of Ronnie and Donna knows that her ex-husband is ill, while in the movie it is not clearly specified. Another omitted detail is the cause of the separation of Ronnie's parents. In the book, the mother betrays Steve. Both in the movie and the book, in the last part, Ronnie takes care of her father, who is more and more weak and painful. They are bounded by the passion for music, besides the filial love. Steve has written a song on the piano for her daughter, but he can't finish it because of his weakness. And when Ronnie plays the last notes of that song, her father closes his eyes and dies. During the funeral, Ronnie plays the song on the piano. A ray of sun shines through the stained glass window, and she knows that her father is with her. Ronnie and Will meet each other again, and they get back together. Ronnie goes back to New York with her mother and her brother, and she decides to study piano at university. Will decides to go to a prestigious university in the same town. Both the movie and the book are touching. They tell a love story in which there are significant and current themes such as family, divorce, confidence, friendship, death. Life, in real life, was much like a song. In the beginning, there is mystery. In the end, there is confirmation. But it's in the middle where all the emotion resides to make the whole thing worthwhile.